Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Bussey, the Mile High Mouth. And for this episode of Suki Nihon, we're going to look at episode number 7 of Adventure Time Season 1. Ricardio, the Heart Guy. Oh my. Well, you know what? I kind of feel that George Takei would be nowhere if he didn't have a fairly distinct voice. I mean, he was a 2-bit actor on Star Trek, not even a good character on Star Trek, and they kind of got rid of him for like for a little bit too. But yeah, he kind of bounced back because one, he grew up in a concentration camp here in America, and two, he's what you would call a fairly oppressed minority who likes to talk a lot on social media. And yeah, that's George Takei. But he's the villain, or is he, in this episode of Adventure Time. I kind of like this one because they let George Takei be what George Takei is. Creepy. They let him be creepy. Pretty much what happens is Finn gets jealous after he saves the Princess Bubblegum. She throws a party in his honor, and Finn starts developing a little bit of a crush on Princess Bubblegum. He gets to the party, and a much smarter and more interesting suitor, in the form of Ricardio, is there, causing Finn to feel very jealous. One thing I like about Adventure Time is that once you get to know a little bit of these weird adventures with these characters, little bits and pieces or facets of their personality start coming through. What you're doing when you're watching Adventure Time is you're chipping away at hard rock to get to a gem inside that hard rock. And in this, you're seeing a little bit more. He also gets to do his little weird math dance. And you got some genuinely creepy stuff with Ricardio, the Ice King, and some of the general plot. Overall, the big thing here to take away is that there's anxiety. Finn is slowly coming into an age where all sorts of weird emotions are popping up. Girls aren't going to be icky and have cooties anymore. So, yeah, Finn is growing up. He grows up quite a lot in this series. In fact, I can't wait to get into some of the episodes, I think in season 6 or so, with certain characters, which we'll talk about. Whenever there's a new episode of Adventure Time, we will talk about it. So yeah, pretty decent episode, fairly disturbing, some gross parts to it, and overall I actually like this one because it's just over the top creepy at points, and that works because hey, George Takei is a creepy individual, a creep. Did I mention he's a creep and he's creepy and he's a really creepy voice? But it works so well when he's voicing creepy characters. So, you know, use what you got. I mean, he's kind of like the Danny DeVito of voice acting. Danny DeVito has to do what he's got, what he can with what he's got. And I have to hand props to them for that. To Danny DeVito and George Takei and ugly people like Will Wheaton and stuff who do this stuff for a living, the voice acting, because they have a face for radio. But yeah, it's a pretty fun little episode. Also kind of an example why parents should watch episodes of Adventure Time before they let their kids watch it. Don't let your kids watch Adventure Time unsupervised. Thank you. Because, seriously. So yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. Tell me what you thought of this episode. I'm your host, Phil Bussey, the Mile High Mouth, and until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.